Why do people ignore or deny science? From the absurd belief that the Earth is flat to rejection of climate science and modern medicine. A recent interaction on social media about a case of measles started me thinking about this. I'm Dev Mukherjee and these are my dog walk thoughts for today. On my community's Facebook page, a kindly soul posted a warning from our local health authority about a case of measles. Not in my area, but nearby. While most people were appreciative, a few responses claimed measles was harmless and that the original post was scaremongering. Vaccine denialism rose its ugly head. One comment suggested that in India in the 1980s and 90s, measles was a rite of passage and those who had it came out stronger. My sarcastic response was, yes, apart from the people who died. I know it wasn't helpful. That set off a chain of comments, including one that stated the death rate was only 1 in 500 and that only immunocompromised individuals would die. The lack of empathy was shocking. Others suggested that no one died from measles, that measles was a harmless disease, or that the vaccine was more dangerous than the disease itself. This was staggering ignorance of basic information that could be easily obtained by a simple Google search. No amount of evidence convinced these individuals that they could be mistaken. Clearly, to them, the international health community is some giant conspiracy promoting a mild illness as a deadly disease for some unknown reason. I cannot fathom why people don't accept scientific advice. Does it give them some sense of community? Do they believe they have a secret knowledge unknown to the broader community? It's a mystery to me. Ignorance about science among community members is one thing and reflects poorly on our education system, but an unwillingness by elected officials to accept expert scientific advice is quite another. Yes, I'm thinking about the orange buffoon currently in residence at the White House. Just consider his health secretary. Fortunately, Australian governments are not immune. Water fluoridation is a simple and effective means to improve our oral health, one that has been tried and tested all over the world. In 2012, the Liberal National Party government of Campbell-Newman pandered to science deniers by delegating the authority for water fluoridation to local councils. Since then, numerous councils have removed fluoride from their water supply, often citing spurious negative health effects and cost. The latest one is Cookshire Council. Why is it always Queensland? Ignoring science can have immediate and tragic consequences. On the 29th of October 2024, Valencia, Spain suffered from devastating floods. The regional government had spent years ignoring climate science and was completely unprepared for the floods. The government even ignored a weather forecast issued 5 days earlier that an unprecedented rainstorm was likely and would lead to flooding. Carlos Mazon, the president of the Valencia region, assured the public just hours before the event on 29 October that there was nothing to worry about, that by the afternoon the storm would have dissipated. As a consequence, many people went about their normal business, and 232 died. Has he been held accountable? Not yet. Writing in The Guardian, Juan Bordera, a climate journalist and an MP in the Valencian Parliament, wrote the following: "When political authorities ignore the scientific community, ignore the warnings of the emergency agencies, and reject proposals presented to them by opposition MPs to avert a forthcoming disaster, the tragic consequences are clearly their responsibility. On the other hand, global heating is accelerating and its consequences are escalating. We can't deny the reality." As I am preparing this video, a cyclone is off the coast of southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. The Bureau of Meteorology is forecasting heavy rain, up to 400 millimetres, leading to widespread flooding. Thank goodness the governments of both states have issued warnings and urged people to either leave or prepare. Don't be a science denier and say it's only a bit of wind and water.